Hey guys, it's Amanda Holley, and you're watching Poyzen TV.
From New York City, we bring you another episode of Poyzen TV.
I'm Amanda Holley, and I'm a new artist coming out of New York on Tommy Boy Warner Records.
So what age did you start singing?
I started actually singing before I could speak, and that's I guess, not an exaggeration. My mom and dad, when they first met, for the brief time that they spent together and with me, they actually would play and sing together. And my mom was a concert cellist.
Oh, wow.
And she went to Manhattan School of Music, and my dad wrote for Sarah Vaughan back in the
So it
day.
runs in the family.
Yeah, I
You
guess
have
so.
music in your genes.
Yeah.
All right, so who were your idols growing up?
Idols. Mainly, I would really look up to the great singers that helped me get through rough times. So any kind of big diva, from Aretha to Billie to Whitney, of course, and Mariah. And I basically ate up all the big songs about overcoming and triumph and communicating with the singers that transcended all ages and genres and time and space. That was a big thing for me growing up. And of course I listened to Spice Girls and stuff like that when I was really little. But the stuff that sticks with you, I think, are the songs that affect change in the world.
Do you write your own music?
I've been so I've been writing music since I was about 3. That was when I wrote my first song. It was probably kind of silly. It was raindrops dripping on my Christmas tree, and then I had another one that was angels singing in my head and whatever, stupid little ideas like that. And then I started writing little novellas and stuff and poems and turning them into songs when I was about 7. So I've always written music, and I've played violin from 2.5 and piano also.
That was my next question, if you played instruments.
Yeah, I love instruments. I pretend to play the guitar, but I don't really.
What would you say your style of music is? What genre?
I'm a pop artist doing mainstream music, but I'm a soul singer. I don't know if that makes sense to say. It's really hard. Actually, On the Grind TV is here today, as you know, and they're kind of chronicling what we're doing here with the music. And Jamal, the director, actually asked me the same question. I was like, oh my God, I didn't know how to answer it. So it was good because he got me first, and we weeded it out. So.
Did your family encourage you to do this as a career?
That's a really good question. I grew up sitting in orchestra pits with my mom. I met my dad a little later, and I met his sister, who went to Juilliard and discovered Stephanie Mills, the R&B singer. And my aunt really wanted me to stick with theater and jazz. I sang with Les Paul when I was 13, 14. They wanted me to stick with jazz and theater and classical music. But I've always been a soul singer. And it was only because of the lifestyle. I think my aunt really wanted me to have a positive experience in music. And I didn't exactly come from a normal life, so she didn't really want me to have any more of that. So, but they're proud of me, I think, maybe.
Where in the whole world, if you could perform, where would it be? Your dream to perform.
Oh my God. That's so tough. If I could perform anywhere in the world, I would like find like the middle of the planet. I never even thought of that. And put like a huge, like almost like a spaceship maybe, and broadcast it to like every single person on the planet. Is that even like a thing? That would be kind of cool. But I guess, okay, in places that exist right now, oh my God. That's like asking if you want Jimmy Choo or Versace shoes. Every venue is like a little different. And I love every venue, from like a small venue to like a huge venue.
So do you have any hidden talents that nobody really knows about?
I'm a good matchmaker. And I'm a really good shopper. I think people know that I do those things though. Hidden, well, I haven't publicized anything about this yet because I have to obviously launch the music, but I've actually been published by Columbia Press a few times when I was 15 for poetry and prose, and I studied with a lot of poet laureates, and I plan on eventually releasing some poetry and prose. Some poetry and prose. Yeah, so I plan on doing that later.
Awesome, that's amazing. So are you single? Seeing anybody?
I'm always seeing somebody. I won't lie, I'm never single. Sometimes I say I'm single, but it's a lie.
Okay, good to know. And can you tell us about your manager?
My manager, Ralph, is kind of like an angel and saved my life. He's late a lot, and he's always on a call. I think he's on a call right now. But actually, my manager, Ralph, came out of the Apollo legacy. His father founded Apollo Amateur Night and discovered and put people on the map that include Billie Holiday, Aretha Franklin, James Brown, Ella, like anybody you could really think of. And it was definitely a miracle that people brought us together to do this project, because he totally understands the music, understands where I'm going, and he himself has managed artists like Ice-T, put Ice-T on the map, had a label at MCA Universal, and does a lot of film, TV, and ran Apollo for like over a decade. So it's pretty cool.
How did you guys meet?
It's really, really crazy. There was a producer on my team and also an arts development person on my team that asked Ralph for help with the project. And immediately when I spoke to him, I had like a feeling that he was gonna be like instrumental, but I didn't know how. And then from there, I guess formally we started working together about 4 months after we like met on the phone. And from there, I was like, this is somebody who really understands music, really understands my life. His mother was a singer as well. So his father was a celebrity. His mother was a singer. And also being African-American, I understand kind of where she came from, because she was the first African-American woman to have her own band. So it's pretty cool. And yeah, so that's how we met.
Just out of curiosity, what is your ethnicity?
I'm kind of a UN baby. My mom is Italian, but she's like German Italian with like Swiss and French and stuff. I mean, everybody's mixed up now. And my father's African American, and being African American, he's also, his grandmother was full-blood Cherokee Indian. And on my father's side, from Africa, they're actually Northern African, some of them come out of Egypt. So we have heritage everywhere, and there's also Irish and English, which is actually more of a tragic story, but I don't want to. So it's really, really kind of crazy, and I think that's part of, I grew up being a triracial, kind of off the kilter kind of kid. And even within my own family, there were people that just hated me or didn't accept me. And then of course I had family that loved me and nurtured me. So it's really important to me to be there for children in the world from all countries, all races, ethnicities, all socioeconomic backgrounds, no matter how hard the circumstance. We can't give up hope and think that it's not that it's really helpless for us to be aware of what's going on. Even in our own country, the Native community is living like they're in a third world country. Like babies are being bathed in baskets, laundry baskets. And then when you go overseas, it just gets worse and worse. And obviously, everything with Black Lives Matter, I will say Black Lives Matter. I'm not gonna say, yes, all lives do matter, but who's being attacked right now in our country? And it could change. I would say if everybody if every person from Korea was getting shot in the middle of the street just for breathing, I would say Korean lives matter. I don't really understand, but that's super, I love people and I love this planet, and that's also something I'd like to do later, is see if there's a way that I can help with stuff, starting with kids. And so, yeah, so I'm glad that I have the mixed genes, because it's made me understand literally what it feels like to come from nothing, to be put through hell, and to come out the other side and see people that are going through what I went through or worse, and want to have some kind of way to contribute to help in the world.
Oh, you're absolutely beautiful.
You're gorgeous.
Were you bullied because of your ethnicity?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, I won't go into it and point things out, but it was a daily thing for me. So it went from N-word to any name you could think of. And I think, if those people, whether they were supposed to love me or whether they were just neighborhood, whatever, I think that those people were just not aware or something, or had something within themselves that they needed to have a scapegoat for. And that's where hatred really comes from, because we see something in ourselves that we don't like, and instead of confronting it, we have to put it on somebody or some race or some kid or some cause or LGBT. None of it is real. It's just all a projection, I think. But that's Ralph will be like, why are you talking about that?
Is there any type of music that you hate?
I don't hate any music. I don't hate any music. There's music I'll listen to less than other music, but I don't hate. Probably elevator music. I just won't listen to it that much, but there's something great to be found in all forms of music. So, I love music. I am music, so I would never hate it.
If we were to listen to your iPod, what is the most embarrassing song on there that you have?
Probably embarrassing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
For me, it's Barbie Girl.
I love that song. I didn't download it. I didn't go that far, but I do have Wannabe, Spice Girls, on my phone. I'm not really embarrassed to say it, because if you're 6 years old and you have curly hair and nobody understands you or understands why your hair is like this, and then all of a sudden one of the biggest stars in the world has hair just like you, that's a pretty cool thing. So I think I'll always be a Mel B, Spice Girls, rock and roll queen.
If you could meet anybody, dead or alive, who would that be?
That's so hard, because there's so many great people that you could say. You could go to like Lincoln or JFK or Billy. I think I would want to meet, because of course I would want to meet Whitney, but I would definitely want to meet Josephine Baker, maybe? Yeah, because she was a stand-up chick, and she was really strong, and she broke a lot of molds, and she did a lot for kids. So I think that would be, I actually wrote like a one-woman show about her, like back in like middle school or something. Because I just like love Josephine Baker, or her whole story. It'd be pretty cool.
Are you currently working on an album?
I have enough music for like 30 albums. The hardest thing, yeah, I am working on an album, and right now I'm trying to make sure that all the music is consistent with this particular chapter of my life and what I would like to convey to the public about myself. And kind of we're bringing, so the first single is Fiendin', and that just dropped on Tommy Boy on June 3rd. And it's already starting to do really well globally, so I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to getting it up the chart and getting it onto Billboard and working the hell out of it. And in the meantime, I already have like 5 follow-ups that'll just dig deeper into my life and my story and the things that I've been through. So yeah, and then the only hard part is gonna be not putting like 10 piano ballads on the album, because I'm just like, that's what I do in the middle of the night, piano ballads.
Is that your passion?
I wouldn't say that it's my passion to write piano ballads. I'm not a producer yet, so I hear like endless music in my head, and I don't know how to program it all. So I stick to the piano, and then I let my producers, I have producers that are like Grammy winners, Oscar winners, and new up and comers. And like one of my friends, he was up and coming, and he's like, "I want to give up," and I'm like, "No, you're a genius." And he kept on going, and he's like at the top of the chart, and he's like running it, you know. And like, so they can make the music for now. One day I'll produce, and I love all kinds of music. So like every album will be a little bit different, or a lot different.
Is there an expected release date?
For the album?
Yeah.
Not yet. Mm-mm. I mean, we can rush it, and we can choose a date and we can put it out, but I don't want to rush it. I just want to work with Fiendin' and getting to the public, and then I already have the follow-ups. I have like 5, and start circulating those, and then the album will finish itself. Because a lot of the songs I have are more into my story. Right now, I just want to be with people and tell the stories that I know are the most accessible to everybody. Although I think that I was pretty surprised, because we did a show at Rockwood, and a lot of people were very engaged in like some of the heavier stuff that I've written about my life. So that was pretty cathartic, because I didn't even want to sing one of the songs, because I was just so like, it makes me cry to sing it. But even the single, like in the vocal booth, it's a love song, but I opened up to like so many feelings that in that particular take that we ended up choosing, I actually woke up to everything that I felt about what I was moving away from and moving towards and opening up to, that it was actually real. So it's all real, they're just all different colors. And yeah, release date, I don't want to set that. I want it to be organic, and I want the public to have a chance to get to know me, and that will kind of determine what I do with the album. And you guys could follow me at Listen to Amanda on Instagram, or youtube.com/Listen to Amanda, but the Instagram I'm updating like every day. Facebook is Amanda Holley, and yeah, the websites are being worked. Art director Tian is in charge of that. So shout out to Tian, and you'll see her on my Instagram.
And then you hear the girls singing along. Oh my God. you down.